Opening speech, ladies and gentlemen, respected teachers, dear friends. Today, I want to talk about something extremely powerful and deeply important in our journey of life. Never share your weaknesses with people. It is about learning who to trust, how to grow, and how to protect the strength within you. Have you ever noticed that when you are at your lowest, not everyone comes forward to lift you up? Some simply watch, some walk away, and some even use your weakness as a weapon. The world is full of different kinds of people, some who genuinely love us and some who only pretend to care. That is why we must be very careful about who we open our hearts to. Not everyone in this world deserves to know your deepest truths, your silent battles, or the insecurities you hide within your heart. Your weaknesses are not meant for public display, and they are certainly not meant for every ear that simply wants to listen. There is a difference between someone who listens to understand and someone who listens to use your words against you. This is why being selective is not just wise, it is essential. Vulnerability is a gift, and like every valuable gift, it must be offered only to those who can respect and protect it. When you share your struggles with the wrong people, you give them the power to shape how you see yourself. Some may comfort you, but others may judge you, mock you, or subtly use your weakness to gain advantage over you. The world has people who clap for your victories, but the same people might also secretly wait for your fall. So you must ask yourself, who truly deserves to know what hurts you? It is a natural human desire to want to be heard, to open up, and to find emotional connection. Yet maturity teaches us that not every shoulder is made for our tears. Emotional intelligence lies in knowing the difference between those who genuinely care and those who are merely curious. Someone who genuinely cares will handle your vulnerability with sensitivity, with encouragement, with understanding. But someone who is simply curious may smile at your words today and use them as a story to entertain others tomorrow. People reveal themselves through consistency, loyalty, and compassion. It takes time to understand who someone truly is, so guard your heart until time has shown you their intentions clearly. Your weaknesses are also reflections of your growth areas. They are the parts of you that are still under construction, the places where healing and progress are still ongoing. If you share them with the wrong person, you may receive discouragement instead of guidance. They may highlight your flaw instead of helping you fix it. When someone does not have the maturity to support your emotional needs, they might belittle your feelings, making you doubt yourself even more. That doubt slowly becomes a barrier, causing you to lose confidence. And once confidence is damaged, rebuilding it is not easy. That is why it is better to speak to those who lift you higher, not those who push you down. To truly safeguard your inner peace, develop the strength to sit with your own emotions. Learn to observe your feelings before rushing to express them. Sometimes the answers we search for outside are already within us, waiting for silence to bring clarity. When you learn to handle your pain privately, you become stronger than you ever imagined. And when you choose to share with someone whose presence gives you strength, safety, and guidance. This may be a parent, a mentor, a close friend, or even God. These are the people who hold your truth with care. Your story is not meant for everyone. Your weakness is not an open invitation. Your emotional world deserves respect, and not everyone is capable of providing that. So speak less, observe more, and allow your silence to reveal who is truly worthy of your trust. By choosing carefully who you open up to, you protect your heart, your dignity, and your journey of growth. Because your weakness, when handled wisely, becomes your greatest strength, but only in the right hands. Protecting your emotional strength means understanding that your inner world is precious, delicate, and deeply influential to the way you live your life. Your emotions shape your confidence, your decisions, your relationships, and your vision for the future. When you allow just anyone to access your emotional vulnerability, you give them influence over your peace. And peace is something that must be guarded carefully. Life constantly tests our emotional balance. The words of others, the expectations of society, and the unpredictable challenges we face can easily disturb our internal stability. That is why emotional protection is not an act of selfishness, but of self-respect. You are not required to explain your pain to everyone. You do not owe your emotional world to every person who asks. The reality is, some people are not prepared to support you. They are simply curious, or sometimes even entertained by your struggles. Your emotional strength is the foundation of your growth, and you must treat it with the seriousness it deserves. In moments of weakness, the heart seeks comfort, but comfort does not always come from safe sources. When you are emotionally vulnerable, you are more likely to trust the wrong person, hoping for understanding. But not everyone understands. Some observe, some judge, and some store your weaknesses for later use. This is why emotional maturity requires patience. Take time to understand who someone is before granting them access to your inner thoughts. Pay attention to how they respond to others' struggles. Do they offer support or do they criticize? Do they maintain confidentiality or do they turn people's pain into gossip? People reveal their character slowly, and it is your responsibility to learn who deserves a place in your emotional life. Protecting emotional strength also means learning how to process feelings internally before expressing them. Sit with your emotions, allow yourself to feel, but do not allow those feelings to control your actions. If you express your hurt in a space that is not safe, the pain grows instead of healing. But when you take time to understand why you feel something, you begin gaining control. Self-awareness is one of the strongest shields a person can develop. When you understand yourself, no one else can easily shake your confidence. At times, silence is the best form of emotional protection. Silence is not avoidance, it is strategy. When you are silent, you are giving yourself space to think, to breathe, to observe. Silence prevents impulsive reactions that you might later regret. It creates distance from chaos and gives you time to return to your center. Many people misunderstand silence as weakness, but in reality, silence is strength under control. People who truly know themselves do not need to explain their emotions to be understood. Their presence speaks, their actions speak, their stability speaks. Another part of protecting emotional strength is surrounding yourself with the right people. People who encourage you when you falter, who remind you of your worth when you forget, who help you grow instead of draining your energy. Emotional strength is deeply influenced by environment. If your surroundings are filled with negativity, criticism, or competition, your emotional energy will constantly feel threatened. But when you choose to place yourself among uplifting, supportive, and genuine souls, your emotional strength becomes an unshakable force. Ultimately, emotional strength is not about being expressionless or unaffected. It is about knowing when to express, how much to express, and to whom. It is about choosing your emotional investments wisely. When you master this, your confidence becomes natural, your presence becomes powerful, and your inner peace becomes unbreakable. Choosing your circle wisely is one of the most powerful steps toward emotional stability and personal growth. The people you surround yourself with influence your mindset, your confidence, your decisions, and ultimately the direction of your life. Human beings are naturally social. We crave connection and belonging. But belonging does not mean being surrounded by many people. It means being connected to the right ones. Not everyone who stands beside you is truly with you. And not everyone who smiles at you wants to see you succeed. Some people stay only when things are easy, while others stay when life tests your strength. The quality of your circle matters far more than the size of it. Among friends, there are those who lift you, those who hold you back, and those who silently pull you down. The uplifting ones encourage growth. They celebrate your small achievements, support your dreams, and remind you of your strengths when you temporarily forget them. They challenge you to improve, not by criticizing you harshly, but by inspiring you through their own actions and mindset. These people want to see you win because your success does not threaten them, it inspires them. With such people, conversations feel meaningful, time feels well spent, and your heart feels at peace. Then there are those who hold you back without you realizing it. They may not intentionally harm you, but their mindset is rooted in limitation, negativity, or fear. When you share your dreams with them, they respond with doubt, not because your dreams are impossible, but because they cannot imagine themselves accomplishing something greater. Their worldview becomes a silent cage. If you stay too close to them for too long, you may begin to believe that your potential has limits too. It is not that these people are bad. They are simply not the companions for your growth journey. And finally, there are those who quietly pull you down. They may be friendly on the surface, but underneath lies competitiveness, insecurity, or envy. They may encourage you when you are struggling, but become distant or uncomfortable when you begin succeeding. They may smile at your face, but belittle your efforts behind your back. These are the people who enjoy your weakness and feel threatened by your strength. With them, you always feel the need to explain yourself, to defend your progress, to prove your worth. This constant emotional effort drains and weakens your spirit. One of the strongest signs of maturity is the ability to step away from people who disturb your peace. It takes strength to distance yourself from familiar faces when you realize they no longer support your growth. But this distance is not cruelty, it is self-respect. When you choose to surround yourself with those who are honest, positive, loyal, and supportive, life becomes lighter. Conversations shift from gossip to ideas, from complaining to planning, from fear to confidence. You begin to notice your mindset improving, your motivation rising, and your goals feeling more achievable. Trust is earned over time through actions, not words. Observe how people behave in difficult situations. Do they defend you or disappear? Do they speak well of others or constantly degrade those around them? Do they celebrate others' success or feel threatened by it? Answers to these questions reveal who belongs in your life and who does not. Your inner circle does not have to be large. Even one or two genuine, dependable people can bring more peace than a crowd ever will. It is better to walk alone with integrity than to walk with many who pull you away from your purpose. When you choose your circle wisely, you protect your emotional strength, preserve your dignity, and align yourself with the path of true growth. Your circle is a reflection of your future. Choose carefully, and your future will flourish with clarity and strength. Working in silence and letting your success speak for itself is one of the most graceful yet powerful approaches to growth. In a world where many people constantly feel the need to announce every effort, every struggle, and every small step, silence becomes not just maturity but strength. When you choose to keep your progress private, you are protecting your goals from unnecessary opinions, doubts, and distractions. The early stages of any dream are delicate, and the wrong words from others can easily derail your confidence. Silence gives you room to build without interference, without noise, and without pressure. It allows your focus to remain on improvement instead of explanation. When people start something new, they often rush to share it with others, seeking validation or encouragement. But the truth is, not everyone will understand your vision, and not everyone will support it. Some may discourage you out of their own fear. Some may criticize because they cannot imagine anything beyond their own limits. And some may silently hope you fail, because your progress reminds them of their lack of effort. Speaking too soon can expose your goals to the negativity of others before they have developed enough strength to withstand judgment. Silence shields your ambitions from such influences. Progress made quietly has a different kind of purity. It comes from discipline, from consistent effort, from self-motivation instead of external praise. You begin to work for yourself, not for acceptance, not for applause. There is a deep satisfaction in knowing that your accomplishments are the result of your own persistence. And when results finally appear, you do not need to explain the journey to anyone. The results themselves speak with undeniable clarity. People may not have noticed the nights you stayed awake, the sacrifices you made, or the challenges you endured, but they will notice the transformation. Success does not need to be announced. It appears in your confidence, your growth, your achievements, and even in the way you carry yourself. Working in silence also develops emotional stability. When your journey is private, there is no pressure to perform for others. You are free to make mistakes without being judged, free to try again without embarrassment, free to learn at your own pace. You become accountable only to yourself. This internal accountability builds discipline, resilience, and self-respect. You begin to trust yourself more because your progress no longer depends on external validation. Another powerful aspect of silence is mystery. When you say less, people wonder more. When you act more and speak less, people cannot predict your next step. And unpredictability is power. It keeps others from interfering, manipulating, or attempting to limit you. Your silence becomes your protection, your foundation. People will see your progress only when it is too strong to be ignored, and when success finally becomes visible, it earns admiration, not because you demanded it, but because you demonstrated it. Those who doubt it will be surprised. Those who discouraged will be silent. Those who supported you will celebrate with genuine pride. Your journey becomes a lesson, not in words, but in proof. Greatness does not need noise. Growth does not need attention. And transformation does not need announcement. When you work quietly, you rise naturally. Your silence becomes your strength. Your discipline becomes your identity. And your success becomes your voice. Turning pain into power is one of the greatest transformations a person can experience in life. Pain comes in many forms: failure, rejection, loss, disappointment, betrayal. At first, it feels heavy, overwhelming, and unfair. It can make you question yourself, your worth, and even your purpose. But pain is not the end of your story. Pain is a teacher. It reveals what needs to be strengthened, where growth is required, and which path is truly right for you. Those who learn to face pain with patience, reflection, and courage are the ones who eventually rise not just stronger, but wiser and more grounded. When we are hurt, the immediate reaction is often emotional: anger, sadness, confusion. But hidden beneath those emotions is a chance for transformation. Your weakness begins to turn into power the moment you decide that the situation will not break you. You grow strongest in the places where you once felt the most fragile. The heart that was once broken learns how to love more carefully and more meaningfully. The person who once failed learns how to build again with more strategy and experience. Pain sharpens your awareness. It teaches you what to avoid and what to value. But this transformation does not happen instantly. It requires the courage to look at pain directly instead of running away from it. Many people choose to numb their pain with distractions, but suppression does not heal. It only delays. Healing begins when you allow yourself to acknowledge your emotions without letting them control your actions. You sit with your pain, you listen to it, and eventually it begins to guide you. You start to understand that every difficult moment is shaping a stronger version of you. Pain also teaches resilience. Every time life knocks you down and you choose to stand again, your capacity to endure expands. You become someone who is not easily shaken by challenges. You develop a quiet strength that comes from overcoming battles that others may never know about. This strength is not loud or boastful. It is calm, steady, and powerful. It shows in the way you carry yourself, the way you respond to adversity, and the way you continue to move forward even when the path is unclear. Moreover, turning pain into power changes the way you perceive others. When you've been hurt, you learn empathy. You start to recognize silent struggles in the eyes of others. You speak more gently. You listen more deeply. Pain humbles you, softens your ego, and opens your heart to understanding. And this sensitivity becomes a part of your strength. It allows you to connect with people in ways that are meaningful and genuine. With time, pain becomes a source of motivation. The same experiences that once weakened, you become the fuel that pushes you to rise higher. You begin to set goals, not to impress others, but to restore yourself, honor your journey, and build a life that reflects your true strength. And when you finally achieve what once felt impossible, the victory feels deeper, richer, more fulfilling, because you know what it took to get there. You earned it. Pain may enter your life uninvited, but power is the decision you make in response. You can allow pain to break you, or you can use it as the foundation to rebuild yourself stronger than ever. The choice is always yours. As you grow through what once hurt you, you realize that your struggles did not define you, they refined you. And the strength you gain becomes something no one can ever take away. Self-confidence is your shield. It is the quiet power that protects your mind, your emotions, and your identity from the doubts and negativity of the world. When you believe in yourself, the world cannot easily shake you. Confidence is not loud. It does not need to announce itself or prove anything to others. It is something felt within, something that reflects in the way you speak, the way you walk, the decisions you make, and the way you carry your pain and your success. It creates a foundation of inner stability that remains firm even when circumstances are uncertain. With self-confidence, you do not seek validation from others because you understand your worth is not something to be negotiated. However, confidence does not appear overnight. It is built through experiences, especially difficult ones. Every time you survive a challenge you thought would break you, your confidence grows. Every time you learn something new about yourself, your confidence strengthens. And every time you choose to trust yourself instead of the opinions of others, you reinforce your inner power. Confidence is the result of continuous self-awareness. It comes from knowing your strengths clearly and acknowledging your weaknesses without shame. When you know who you are, no one else can define you. Confidence also means understanding that failure does not reduce your value. Many people lose confidence because they believe failure means they are not good enough. But failure is simply a step on the path forward. It teaches more than success ever could. True confidence is built when you fall and decide to rise again, when you make mistakes but choose to learn instead of quit. Confidence is not about being perfect, it is about being persistent. The belief that you can improve is far more powerful than the belief that you must be flawless. People will have opinions about you, some positive, some negative, some completely inaccurate. You cannot control how others see you, but you can always control how you see yourself. When your self-worth depends on external approval, you become emotionally fragile. A single criticism can destroy your peace, and a single compliment can determine your mood. But when your self-worth comes from within, you become steady. You listen to others, but you are not defined by them. You learn to filter voices. You take wisdom from those who genuinely care, and you discard negativity from those who speak from ignorance or insecurity. Confidence also shapes how you handle relationships and opportunities. When you trust yourself, you do not settle for less than you deserve, whether in friendship, work, or love. You recognize your value and therefore choose people and paths that align with your growth. You become more decisive because you are not afraid of making mistakes. You are more willing to take risks because you trust your ability to adapt and overcome. This is how confident individuals rise, while others remain stuck in hesitation and self-doubt. Your presence begins to change too. Confidence shows in your silence, in your eye contact, in your patience. You no longer rush to prove your point or defend your success. You no longer fear rejection because you know rejection is only redirection. And you no longer chase acceptance because you understand that the right people recognize your value without needing explanations. To build and protect this confidence, you must practice kindness toward yourself. Speak to yourself with respect. Acknowledge your growth. Celebrate progress, even if it is small. Spend time with people who inspire your strength, not those who weaken it. And most importantly, keep promises you make to yourself. When you say you will do something, do it. Each fulfilled promise strengthens trust in yourself, and trust in yourself is the core of confidence. Self-confidence is not an accessory to life, it is the shield that allows you to walk boldly through it. It is what turns challenges into opportunities, sets boundaries where needed, and ensures that your life is shaped by your choices, not by the expectations or judgments of others. When you believe in yourself, truly and deeply, the world learns to believe in you too. In this journey of life, protect your heart, protect your mind, and protect your peace. Your weaknesses are not meant for the world to judge. They are meant for you to overcome. So grow quietly, rise confidently, and let your strength tell your story. Thank you.